Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Theresa here with a scrapbook layout to share with you. We're going to use the silhouette tool and a digital patterned paper from the Project Mouse Pop collection. This is a brand new collection that was released for Faniversary this year. And so let me zoom in here and share with you the details of what I'm going to do. And so I've already printed out this 12 by 12 patterned paper, and then I fed it through the silhouette and had the silhouette cut out a bunch of the words sort of in the center of the page. And my idea was to back these words with glitter paper to sort of give an extra punch to this layout and also to create a more hybrid layout here. And so I'm going to walk you through how I traced. You can see here I've traced around one of the punched words on the back of the glitter paper, and I'm cutting it out backwards. And so now I'm left with this sort of rough cut. It doesn't have to be exact, but it's just a rough cut to back that word. And then I went and grabbed a plain sheet of white cardstock to back the layout with. And I'm going to adhere that little rough cut onto the background paper. And so I'm going to just trace around a little bit. You don't have to trace around the whole word. But I am tracing just some of the points along that word and the words around it so that I sort of have an idea where I need to adhere that to the background piece. You could adhere it to the back of the pattern paper itself, but these words were a little bit close together, and so I felt like I needed to use the backing cardstock to put that glitter, the glitter cutouts onto. And so I'm going to just do that over and over again. I will tell you the glitter papers that I purchased were from Michael's. I just took some of the pattern papers with me after I printed them out. I just took them with me to try to color match, and I wasn't sure exactly which ones I wanted to use. So I bought an assortment. I narrowed it down to the ones that you see on my desk. Those are the Recollections brand glitter papers from Michael's. And then I also picked up the little 6x6 glitter papers. Those are from the Paige Taylor Evans collab with Michael's, and also the little heart clips that she did as well. I didn't end up using the 6x6 glitter paper, but I did use the clips, and those are so cute. I could not resist grabbing those real quick. And so you can see here, I'm just doing this over and over again, tracing the word on the back of the glitter cardstock, cutting around it, tracing the word where I want it on the background cardstock, and then adhering it down. And I'm checking in between each word to make sure that it is lining up the way that I need it to. And another little tiny nugget of advice: use repositionable adhesive for a project like this so that you can adjust if you need to, because sometimes you'll find that you start gluing things down a little bit dislodged over time. I don't know. So always check after each one and make sure that you have it lined up pretty well. There will be, as you fill in more and more, especially with as close as these scripted words are, the more and more that you add, the more chances there are that you're going to have a little bit of overlap. And that does start to happen. I did have a couple of pieces that had a little bit of overlap, and I just you can take an X-Acto knife, or again, because I used repositionable adhesive, I could just pull those up really gently and trim it down just a tiniest bit with my scissors and make sure that all of the words fit in where they needed to fit in. This was a process, I won't lie. It probably took me about an hour to trace and cut all of these words. Now, in theory, you could have your silhouette trace and cut the glitter paper as well. If you use the offset tool, if you trace your words in the silhouette software and then offset that, you could have the silhouette trim it. I think that might have taken just as long to load and unload. And also it would have burned through a couple of blades as well, because that glitter paper is pretty thick. And I did take breaks in between here because it did sort of tire my hand out. So again, you know, the fun is in the process. The fun was in watching it come together the way that I imagined, and it definitely was worth it all along. In the end, I loved how this layout came out, and the concept of using the glitter paper was really fun to execute. So I hope that it inspires you. I hope that you're inspired to think outside of the box with your digital collections. This is something that I've done several times with the Project Mouse collections, is to use a digital pattern paper with the silhouette and create my own cut file. And of course, I use a combination of Photoshop and the silhouette software to do that. If you're interested in a more detailed tutorial about how to use the silhouette for this, let me know. I didn't want to, the tutorial videos, I love doing them, but they are a labor of love and they don't get a lot of views. And so I presume that when they don't get a lot of views, that not a lot of people really care to see those. But if you do want to see how I use the silhouette to cut out this digital pattern paper, just let me know down below. I would love to hear from you and would love to chat with you and see what sorts of tutorials and how-tos that you're interested in seeing. I typically on this channel share my own process videos for my own layouts that just that go in our family albums, but I would love to hear from you as well, and am curious to know what you would like to know how to do. So just let me know about that. I definitely want to produce content that you guys want to see and love when you guys watch my videos. So thank you so much for watching and for following along. That always means a lot to me and has meant so much to me over the years of sharing here. And so you can see here how the words are coming together on the page, and you can see how I've replaced or what colors I've replaced with what glitter papers. And you can also see here a little bit of where some of that overlap was occurring, and just how simple it was really to fix that a little bit. And just had a couple of more words here to finish up with, and then we'll move into the fun part, which is of course adding the photos and all the embellishments. And so there, that is the pattern paper now. It's all backed with all of the words. And then I'm going to pop this up a little bit using foam tape. And that's just to give it a bit of dimension here. You certainly could just adhere it straight down to the page. But I wanted a little bit of shadowing there and just a little bit of dimension to the page, and allow the glitter, as you guys know, it catches the light, and that's what makes it glitter. And so I wanted that to show a little bit. I'm going to put just a few tiny pieces in between the words as well, just trying to make sure that pattern paper doesn't sag or bow in, and so just filling in wherever possible. And then I'm gonna remove all of the backing and adhere it down. And so when you go to adhere this down, just take a deep breath and just do it. My hope is that everything will line up beautifully. But like I said, I've double checked the alignment every time that I cut out and adhered a new word down. So I'm pretty confident here that it's going to work. And there it goes. And gosh, that sure is pretty. I was so excited about this. That made me so happy. I hope that makes you happy too. I hope that you see that and it makes you smile, makes you feel a little bit glittery today. So the story behind this layout is back at the end of 2019, very first few days of 2020, we were at Disney and we stayed at the Art of Animation. And the Art of Animation concept is to celebrate the artists that have helped to shape Disney movies and the entire Disney franchise. And particularly, there was a lot of work from John Lasseter at this hotel. And the conceptual drawings are on the walls, they're on the ceiling, they're everywhere you look, and it's very inspiring to walk through these halls and to see all of this incredible concept art that was used for a variety of movies. And it was also particularly fascinating. There are quite a few of us in our household who love art and love creating, myself and our girls included. And they fell in love with the drawings and with these concept drawings and the artists themselves by staying here. And it was really fascinating. Natalie especially just loved to walk down this hall and look at all of them and take them all in. And so I had an opportunity to take a photo of the four of them. I guess we were heading out for the day. I'm not sure. Or we had just finished eating or something like that. And they were just hanging out here, waiting for us to do something. Who knows? Probably shopping or something. And so I decided to create this layout for Natalie's album to document how she fell in love with the artwork at Disney on this trip, and how staying at the Art of Animation helped to foster her own creativity and her own love of drawing. And I love encouraging that. We all love fostering that appreciation for all of the kids. And I love seeing Natalie and Emberlyn both becoming true artists in their own light. They are incredibly talented, and I'm kind of in awe of what their capabilities are. I wish that I had someone that had encouraged me in the drawing field. I had lots of encouragement from the creative side, which is why scrapbooking is so much fun for me, but I did not have any encouragement in the drawing side of it. In fact, my creative journey myself was I learned to draw with a ruler and a T-square first as an interior designer, and still love drawing with a T-square and a ruler and a triangle, and love developing floor plans. They make sense to me. It's very measured and very structured. But freehand drawing for me is not my specialty, and I think that there's a great deal of encouragement that goes into helping artists be created. And there's a generation of us that missed out on that. I'm so impressed with artists who stepped away from that lack of encouragement and who decided to do it anyway. I'm so in awe. If that is you, congratulations, and I'm so proud of you. And there are a lot of us who heard a lot of terrible things about our own artwork, and if that is you, then I stand in solidarity with you. That's sort of what I got in my upbringing, and so all the creativity that I've done has been an active rebellion against that. But I did have, my mom was a very creative person, and she loved to paint and sew, and she loved to do art, and she kind of figured out her own way of doing that, and that has always inspired me, and it showed me how I could be creative and how I could express myself without even having to draw. And I can draw, but it's not something that I love. We have to work hard to overcome those internalized voices. So I did just a few little embellishment clusters here around the photo after that little, I don't know, diatribe that I just went down, a little rabbit hole I just went down of art empowerment. But I used some of the elements, some of the digital elements that I had cut and printed and cut from the Pop collection, and just added some of those fun little elements around the photo there, and then another little rainbow at the top of the page. That felt a little bit random to me, but then I like the randomness of having that little rainbow and the little ticket and the shooting star there. And you can see also where I use those little heart clips from Paige Evans and Michaels. And then of course I've added a couple of little enamel dots here and enamel hearts. Those are from Citrus Twist, from some of my past kits that I just held on to in my stash, and so I got to use a couple of those as well. Thank you so much. I know this has been a longer process than I normally do, but it was a lot of fun to create and to share this with you. There is, of course, more details and product links available on the blog post at theresamoxley.com, and I'd love to have you stop over there, and also would love to have you pick up the Project Mouse Pop collection as well. Thanks again, you guys. I'll see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.